How's it going, everyone? This is Tom with redmondpie.com, and moments ago Apple released iOS 7 Beta 2, and with it came support for iPad. So as you can see here is my iPad mini, and it is currently running iOS 7 Beta 2. Now, we have previously done a video going over all of the new additions found in iOS 7, and I will link that in the description along with the post on redmondpie.com. So I'm not going to be going over all of the new additions, I'm more focusing on how they look on the iPad variant. First up is the icons, and that's not really any different. I mean, they are of course larger, and for example, there's a couple of new additions such as the voice memos and the photo booth app, especially on the iPad. That's not going to be available for the iPhone and iPod. A lot of people have been giving it stick, but I, on the whole, like the icons and the new UI layout. But without further ado, let's just jump into the main bulk of the features. Okay, so we'll start off with some folders, as I said, I've covered a lot of this in the original iOS 7 overview video, but we'll just take a look at how a lot of these kind of features look on the iPad. So as you can see, I'm just dragging the Newsstand app into the folder. I have a lot of my Apple applications, the stock apps, hidden in a folder because I don't really use a lot of stock applications. But as you can see here, paging is enabled within the folder. I really like the folder interface on iPad. It looks very clean. Much prefer it to the previous iOS 6 iteration, kind of version of this. As I said, you get paging, so you can fill it up with as many applications as you desire. Next up, we have the control center, and this is kind of your central hub for controlling just various different features on your device. So for example, you've got the brightness toggle to the side. You can quick launch some applications, and you use something like your camera or your clock. You get AirDrop and AirPlay facilities at the bottom. You get media controls to the left, and then you get quick toggles at the top, such as Wi-Fi, do not disturb, orientation lock, all of that good stuff. And of course, this works in landscape orientation as well. You can just flip this over and just get landscape orientation for the control center. You just swipe up from the bottom of the screen next to the dock, and you should have no problem whatsoever. Also, of course, we have notification center. So dragging down from the top brings the new notification center, and you get this nice blur background effect, which really looks nice in my opinion. I much prefer the different features of iOS 7. For example, we used to have the linen and stuff like that. The whole user interface is all very different. I'm a big fan of it so far. It's really kind of grown on me, and it's a little bit weird to use my iPhone 5 with linen backgrounds and stuff. Here we have the multitasking, iOS 7 multitasking, and it's a bit weird. It's kind of a little bit buggy at this stage. It's still very much in beta development, but if you have your app in portrait and then you switch to landscape and multitask, it will kind of just stay in portrait, which is a bit weird. But here we have the settings app. It's all very inclusive. Everything looks just like the iOS 7 for iPhone and iPod, just kind of upscaled, which is what you'd expect. I mean, I don't want to be using a totally different user interface on my iPad than I do on my iPhone or iPod. Here's a look at the iOS 7 multitasking in portrait orientation, and in my opinion, this looks a lot better than the landscape orientation, which is a bit weird considering generally you'll use your iPad in landscape. But as you can see there, you can just tap on a app to go to it. You can open up the multitasking either by swiping up with 4 fingers or double tapping the home button. Then you can swipe out and close applications just by swiping up on the app, just like that. Very simple. It's a nice interface, and it runs very smoothly on the iPad mini. Now, taking a quick look at the camera app on iOS 7, you just swipe down just like this. You can take video, you can take photos just like that, and pressing the take button to the right. And then you can also go on the square camera as well. I wasn't able to find the filters. I'm not sure if they're available or not. That might just be me, but I wasn't able to. I'm not sure if they're in iOS 7 for the iPad. And then here we are on the lock screen, and as you can see, it looks really nice. I'm a big fan of the new iOS 7 lock screen, and also you can access the control center, you can access the quick toggles that brings, and also notification center directly from your lock screen without having to unlock your device. To be honest, guys, there we have it. That is what iOS 7 looks like on the iPad, and you'll see that it's very similar to the iPhone and iPod, and that, as I said earlier in this video, that's a good thing. There are, of course, some things I haven't covered in this video, such as like the different keyboard layout, but those go along with the general UI change. It goes along a lot kind of flatter interface, and there's no more skeuomorphics. As I said, I'll link our iOS 7 walkthrough video down below in the description. Subscribe to the Red Pie YouTube channel, follow us on Twitter, Facebook, all of those links down below as well, and I will catch you in the next video.